Hey, Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday Learning Bhagavatam class. Today's guest speaker is Vamsi Dhari Prabhuji, who will be giving a class on Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creation, and Chapter 15, Bali Mahārāja Conquers the Heavenly Planets. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Learning Bhagavatam. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Dharmendra Prabhu, and welcome everyone to the evening session on Bhagavatam. So we'll begin Bhagavatam by praying to all the previous acharyas to give us uh, empower us to actually hear Srimad Bhagavatam for our own purification. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Trinadapi Sunicena Taroripiva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Hari जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयादित्रहत च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदं यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो अमृष धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि सत्यं परं धीमहि सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्म प्रोजित कैतवो अत्र पुंसो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवादं त्रापत्रयोन्मूलं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परेरीश्वरे सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबतं भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्थस्थो हयभद्राणि विदुनोति श्रुहित्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी तदा रजस्तमो भावस्कामलोभतयश्च ये चेत इतेरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसिद्धति यस्यं वै श्रूयमानानं कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पाद्यते पुंसा शोकमोहभय अपः. So welcome all to today evening Srimad Bhagavatam session, class, discussion. This is the first time I have got a very peaceful and a very small Srimad Bhagavatam chapter, but very impactful. Prabhupada has given purports, I think, only on 4 of the verses in this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, can anyone remind me what happens before this session? Before this chapter, what exactly happened? You can unmute and you can say. No memory, no remembrance. What happened exactly out before this chapter? Okay, I'll jog your memory. Um, Basically, I'll start from Mohini Murti. Remember Mohini Murti? So Mohini Murti, um, this if incarnation of the Lord, and because of Mohini Murti, the nectar was given out to the demigods, and Rahu, he had his throat was slit essentially, and Rahu couldn't get nectar essentially properly. So after that, what happened is the demigods were victorious, and because of the victory of demigods, the demigods they went on to a killing spree. They started killing demons left, right, and center because now they had the nectar. And just before that pastime of Mohini Murti, Mother Lakshmi had actually glanced upon demigods. When Mother Lakshmi was first coming out of the ocean, then everyone was agitated because of Mother Lakshmi's beauty and the attraction of the Mother Lakshmi. Everyone wants wealth, right? So everyone was agitated. All the demons were agitated, the demigods were agitated, even humans were agitated. But Mother Lakshmi straight went to Lord Vishnu, and Mother Lakshmi she glanced upon the demigods, and as soon as she glanced upon the demigods they became very peaceful. And similarly, she glanced upon humans, but she never glanced upon demons. So, because she never glanced upon demons, the demons were always agitated. So, at this point in time, after Mohini Murti's pastime, when the demigods were victorious, they had gotten all the nectar. Um, the demigods they started to kill demons indiscriminately. They were not stopping. So Bali Maharaj came and attacked Indra, and Indra, with his thunderbolt attacked Bali Maharaj, and his plane and Bali Maharaj they both fell basically to the ground. And to take revenge of this, the other demons came, and the famous pastime is of Namuchi, who couldn't be killed with Vajra, and he had to be killed with a foam weapon. And because of thinking on the toes that Indra did, the demigods, and the Rishi Munis, they showered flowers on Indra. So the demigods they started to kill demons, and it resembled that actually all the demons will be wiped out. So immediately Brahmaji sent Narad Muni to Indra, requesting him not to kill all the demons because the entire race will be wiped out. And at the end of the day, even the demons are children of Lord Brahma. So Brahmaji had to play the role of the father because father is merciful. And so the demigods, and when Brahmaji, when Brahmaji started speaking to the demigods, Brahmaji said, look, you've already got the nectar now, and you've already got the blessings of Mother Lakshmi. She glanced upon you, and you are already victorious in this battle. So there is no reason for you to just continue waging this battle to kill the last demon standing. And so Indra and the other demigods they listened to the orders of Brahmaji, and then they stopped the battle. Um, and then what happens is there is a detour of pastime of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is getting attracted to Mohini Murti, and as soon as that pastime finishes, then sudden detour happens of universal management of the whole entire creation. First there is description of Manvantaras, and then there is further description of the sons and children of Manvantaras and how the universal affairs are. What are the responsibilities of these people? So in 13th chapter, so 11th chapter is all Mohini Murti. Then Lord Shiva getting attracted to Mohini Murti. Then 13th chapter, 13th and 14th chapter are very important chapters. They tell you not just of the past or millions and millions of years. People want to know of the extreme past, right? They can find the details of the extreme past in chapter 13th and 14th. But in this chapter 13th and 14th, they can also see who's going to be there in the future, predicted for next billions of years, like yugas after yugas. So currently, we are in the seventh Manu. So I'm speaking of 13th and 14th chapter before getting into the 15th chapter. It's important because there is a connecting link. So currently we are in the seventh Manu, and anyone knows the name of the seventh Manu? The name of the seventh Manu is Vaivasvat Manu. Because Vaivasvat Manu, because it comes from Vivasvan, the son of Vivasvan. Vivasvan is the sun god, right? Evam parampara praptam. In that chapter, the word Vivasvan is used, which is the name of the sun god. So this seventh Manu is called Vaivasvat Manu. He is also called Shraddha Dev Manu because his wife's name is Shraddha, and she is very renowned. And so it's interesting that the name of the husbands, or people refer to the husband through their wife because the wife is so renowned. So this is a repeating theme in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are other personalities who became famous because their wives were great personalities. So Shraddha Dev Manu or Vaivasvat Manu, and this Vaivasvat Manu is the same Manu to whom towards the end of the sixth Manvantar, towards the end of the reign of the sixth Manu, this large fish came, and this fish Matsya Avatar protected and saved. So this Vaivasvat Manu is mentioned in the 13th chapter, and then Sukdev Goswami continues to describe the future Manus, the eighth Manu, Savarni Manu. So he mentions about the eighth Manu, Savarni Manu, and he mentions that during the reign of the eighth Manu, the Indra will be Bali Maharaj. And while mentioning just a chapter ago, Bali Maharaj has already died, right? Just think like this. Chapter ago, Bali Maharaj has already died. That's what the Parikshit Maharaj had heard. And now, as he's further gone into the conversation, what is happening is he is hearing that Bali Maharaj will be there in the eighth Manvantar as the Indra. So, and of course, I think Parikshit Maharaj had already heard about Bali Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj had asked, and while describing this pastime that in 8th Manvantar, Bali Maharaj will become Indra, Shukdev Goswami also tells Parikshit Maharaj that actually, Vaman, the Supreme Lord, came and asked for 3 pieces of land, and because Bali Maharaj gave it, so in spite of him losing, he actually didn't lose, and he actually becomes the Indra in the next Manvantar. And at the same time, he also gets Sutala planet. So it intrigues Parikshit Maharaj. So when Parikshit Maharaj is intrigued about this, he holds off his thought process. He holds off his question, and he lets the great sage Sukdev Goswami continue finishing the existing topic. So this is the you can see the spiritual world in the way Parikshit Maharaj interacts with Shukdev Goswami. When the great saintly people speak, or when someone very elderly, respected person speaks, then it is not an etiquette to stop the person until unless it is really urgent and important. So Parikshit Maharaj keeps quiet. And although he has this question, Shukdev Goswami goes on to finish until 14 Manus. And then he says that, okay, now I have finished describing all the Manus and their responsibilities, because Parikshit Maharaj had asked the question about their responsibilities. And so when Shukdev Goswami eventually stops, then Maharaj asked this question which he was holding off. And this is how the 15th chapter begins. And 15th chapter begins with his question as to, okay, why did the Lord, beg to Bali Maharaj 3 paces of land? And if Bali Maharaj gave him 3 paces of land, then why did Lord actually arrest Bali Maharaj? It doesn't make sense. If you ask for something, you give them the thing they had asked, then there is no point in actually punishing them. So this is the question with which Bali Maharaj starts this chapter. And actually, to disappoint you, the name of the chapter is Bali Maharaj Conquers the Heaven. So you might think that actually in this chapter, conquering means, wars will happen. And unfortunately, in this chapter, there is no war that takes place. um, and all the war, the best of the wars is described in 11th chapter and 10th chapter, like that. So no war actually takes place, but here what happens is the reset of storyline. And we go back to the 11th chapter here, and Shukdev Goswami now starts to narrate that actually when Bali Maharaj was attacked by Indra and he fell, what exactly happened is Shukracharya, the guru of Bali Maharaj, or the guru of demons. Just to let you know, Shukra, one meaning of Shukra is semen. And Shukracharya is called Shukracharya because he gives the power to progenite for the demons. He's also called Kavi, or the best of the poets. So he's a very powerful personality, and those who have recently seen Mahavatar Narsimha movie, I'm assuming all of you have seen this movie, Mahavatar Narsimha. In this movie, this character Shukracharya is shown, and it is also shown how he sprinkles some water droplets, and actually all the demons come back to life. So exactly at the end of this battle, after Mohini Murti's pastime, when this battle took place, all the dead demons were taken by Shukracharya and brought to the mountain called Ashtagiri. And on this mountain, using the Samjeevani Vidya, using these mantras, all of the dead demons, including Bali Maharaj, he were brought back to life. And when Bali Maharaj, he was brought back to life, he remembered exactly what had happened. He remembered exactly that he was struck by Indra, and he had lost the battle. See, when you lose something, then there is dejection, moroseness, and there is a great pain, right? Loss brings a lot of pain. But when Bali Maharaj actually gets up after getting life, Bali Maharaj doesn't go into dejection cycle. He doesn't go into any pain cycle. He is basically the devotee of the Lord. Remember, he is actually the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj, when he wakes up, he thinks that this is victory and loss is part and parcel of existence, and there is a greater plan happening. So this is the consciousness of Bali Maharaj at the point he had actually lost the battle. And because he was brought back to life by Shukracharya, he becomes greatly obliged to Shukracharya, and he starts serving Shukracharya with great attention, detail, and with his life. Not just Shukracharya, he also starts to actually serve the Brahmanas in the line of Shukracharya. Shukracharya is actually, the line of Shukracharya is coming from Bhrigu Muni, and but actually Shukracharya is even more powerful than Bhrigu Muni. The prowess of Bhrigu Muni is crazy. The only person who was more powerful than Bhrigu Muni, as described in Shrimad Bhagavatam, was Hiranyakashipu. He became even more powerful than Bhrigu Muni. So in the descendant line of Bhrigu Muni, there are very, very powerful Brahmanas. They can do many things, and crazy things, and they are very pure Brahmanas. So all of these Brahmanas, and inclusive of Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj now starts to serve them, and now starts to serve them with everything he has got, because his life was given to him by Shukracharya. So he doesn't hold back in serving the Brahmanas. Usually, when we serve anyone, then we want to give everything, but we sometimes hold back a few things. some things that we want more than service. This was not the case with Bali Maharaj. For him, everything was devotional service. So he served the Brahmanas to his complete capacity. And therefore, you can see this trait of Bali Maharaj of Atmanivedanam from the very beginning stages of description in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even at this point in time, when he was serving the Brahmanas, he was serving with his full capacity, whatever he had. And so Brahmanas became very, very pleased with Bali Maharaj. And see, if I give everything of me to you, then you become my person, right? You think, you will start to think, oh, this person is giving everything of his to me. I can't believe this. And so, he's a family member. So, you give everything that you have for that person. This is how usually the world is, right? When they see that someone's serving you very selflessly, then you can't not serve them back selflessly. You become pressured, you become forced to serve them back selflessly. If someone's serving you very selflessly, and time after time you have reservations in serving them, then at one point in time you start to feel very heavy in your heart. So these Brahmanas are naturally devotees, and so when Bali Maharaj was serving him with full of his capacity, these Brahmanas, they thought Bali Maharaj is our own, and so they blessed him with their own powers. So Bali Maharaj became powerful, and his power was not just of one Brahmana, his power was a cumulative power of so many Brahmanas. And his power was cumulative power of Shukracharya, who's very powerful. So he actually received the blessings of his Guru Shukracharya, and he received the blessings of all the Brahmanas in that line. And they start to do a yagya. And in this yagya, from the fire comes, the chariot, the golden chariot, the bows and the arrows, the quiver, and the flag. In Vedic system, the flag is really, really important. The flag that goes on top of the chariot is really important. Even in the temple, when you go to Bhaktivedanta Manor, you will see the flag of Lord Hanuman. It's good to mentally pay obeisances, because the flag resembles the strength of the army. So a flag comes out with and it has a sign of lion. Lion is the king of the jungle, right? So it basically declares that this enemy is actually lion, and so there can only be one lion. And then Prahlad Maharaj, he gives Bali Maharaj a garland, a special garland. The garland has flowers which will never become like withered away. They will never be withered. So they're everlasting flowers. So it's a very special garland. So he gets blessings of Prahlad Maharaj, who's a pure devotee, who has been blessed by the Supreme Lord. And for eternity, there can be hardly any pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj. So he gets the blessings of all the Brahmanas. He gets the blessings of his spiritual master. He gets the blessings of a pure devotee. And his spiritual master, Shukracharya, also gives him a conch shell. Of course, the conch shell is very, very important. What is the name of conch shell of Krishna? Anyone knows?
Panchajanya.
Panchajanya. Thank you so much. So conch shell is given, and so Bali Maharaj becomes very powerful. And see, important point of in this pastime is also, if you read the pastime, you will know that actually the other soldiers of Bali Maharaj, they were equally beautiful, equally blessed, and they were equally powerful. How did this happen? Because all these demons, they followed Bali Maharaj. And they also served the Brahmanas. They equally got the blessings of the Brahmanas. So all of these, see, in a camp, if only one person is super powerful, that camp is amazing. But imagine a camp, or imagine an army where there are many, many great and greatest powerful warriors and soldiers. Like in the battle of Mahabharat, you have Bhishma Dev, who is the most powerful warrior of all existence. Then you have Dronacharya, who's also the most powerful warrior. Then you have Arjuna. Then you have, so when such extremely powerful warriors assemble, that army is a very powerful army, because it's not a one-man show, or many other powerful warriors exist. And such army is also very beautiful to observe, because all these powerful warriors are cooperating together. So this powerful army of Bali Maharaj, it starts now to march towards heavenly planets, because the intention was to actually take back the heavenly planet, which actually Indra had actually defeated Bali Maharaj previously. So now, as they are marching towards the heavenly planet, Bhagavatam now gives description of the heavenly planet. Now, uh, Bhagavatam is actually, it's a subject matter that can only be understood by serving the spiritual master, and by getting blessed with devotees, and by actually getting this ability to reflect and be in the pastime. But this portion of this few set of verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't want any devotee to deeply reflect, meditate upon on all of the verses, because a pure devotee is not supposed to dwell into, because anyone can actually at the time time of that get stuck into this powerful description of the beauty. So the heavenly planet is described, and I don't want you to very deeply reflect on the beauty of the heavenly planet, because it is crazily beautiful as it is described. It says there is a celestial atmosphere full, there are full it's full of orchard gardens, flowers, fruits, chirping birds and singing bees. So it's very beautiful. There are beautiful women. They sport in the gardens with which are full of ponds, full of birds like swans and charvakas. Surrounded, and this place is surrounded by the water of the Ganges, which is also known as Akash Ganga, fenced by a fire-colored high walls. So, walls are amazing. They are fire-colored, and on top of the walls there are protectors, who are standing on top of the walls to protect. So, under the protection, in these ponds, young women, they are sporting. Um, Golden doors, marble gates, and public roads. There are many public roads. The city was constructed by Vishwakarma. So it is full of courtyards, roads, public assembly, houses, and at least place for 100 million airplanes. So, everyone has an airplane there in the heavenly planets. It's only in the material world that we have to struggle so much, but there people have airplanes, at least 100 million airplanes. uh, Jewel crossroads with sitting places made of diamond and coral. So it's very, very beautiful. But do not meditate on this temporary beauty. Everlastingly beautiful and youthful women called Shyama. They are dressed in clean garments, glittered in the city like fires with flames. So, these beautiful women, they are roaming this heavenly planet. And these women are called Shyama because there is a description that a lady whose body is warm during winter and cool during summer, and who generally has very firm breasts. So this is a description of the lady called Shama. So such beautiful women, they are all across the heavenly planets essentially. um, Breeze carried the fragrance of flowers fallen from the hair of these women. There are apsaras as well, which are also apsaras pass on the streets covered with fragrant smoke of aguru incense. There are canopies decorated with pearls and palace domes with flags of pearls and gold, vibrations of peacock, pigeons, and bees, airplanes full of beautiful women singing auspicious songs. So, as you are, someone is walking, there are airplanes flying from the top. There is music in these planes, and these planes are singing very auspicious music. um, and the sound vibrations are there. Gandharvas are also singing. So there are many different beautiful and rhythmic sound vibrations which are all congenial with each other. And the planes are flowing, beautiful women are everywhere. Some are sporting, some are walking, some are dancing. um, the atmosphere is amazing basically. So this is a very, very beautiful description. And thinking of this description, someone may desire to go to such a place. But a serious student of Srimad Bhagavatam, serious person who studies not reads but studies Srimad Bhagavatam will soon understand that this should not be our goal of life. Such beautiful places should not be goal of our life. Then, basically there are, in one verse there is disqualification mentioned, that if you have to reach such kind of a place which is inside a material world and it is so desirable by everyone, then you should have these qualities. Now, this verse is so important. It's so important. The reason this verse is so important is because this is one single verse which distinguishes Hinduism from many other isms. Because in many other isms, they have similar descriptions or even greater detailed descriptions of heavenly planets, because for them, the spirituality means heaven. In a lot of the religions, the spirituality means heaven. And if you go and read, do a comparative study, you will find the descriptions are very similar to what's there in the Vedic literature, but the descriptions are even more materialistic in the sense of their understanding of the heavenly planets, because it's more driven towards sense enjoyment. But this single verse tells us that in Hinduism, that in Sanatan Dharma, what is the conception of heaven? Because this definition of heaven doesn't fit any of these other isms. So in this verse, it mentions that there is a disqualification for a people who are irreligious or sinful people. They cannot enter heaven. So if you are irreligious, so you've not followed religion, or you have committed sinful activities, then you can't enter heaven. If you are envious, so it doesn't say if you are a person from X religion or Y religion. It says if you are an envious person. It says if you are a violent person, or if you are a cheater. So if you have lied, or you are in a practice of lying, or you are cheating, then you cannot stay there. So it doesn't tell that, okay, if you are a Hindu, you can stay there. If you are a X, you can stay there. If you're a Y, you can stay there. It just says if you are envious of anyone, if you are a liar, if you are violent, and if you are a cheater, you can't stay there. Also, people who are proud, lusty, and greedy, those people cannot stay there either. So, Indra is super lusty, right? Indra is, always with so many women and so many apsaras. So there is this contradiction here. Um, so I will answer this contradiction in some time as we finish this chapter, until unless it is very pressing for someone to know. But essentially, proud people, lusty people, and greedy people, they cannot stay there in heavenly planets. And people in heaven are all devoid of such faults. So there are no such faults in heavenly planets. So for a moment, you will start to think, oh, then what's the difference between a heavenly planet and a Vaikuntha planet? There got to be some difference between a heavenly planet and a Vaikuntha planet. So there is a huge difference. But understand that this is a very high level of qualities. These are the qualities someone needs to have for them to be able to sustainably stay in heaven. So there is this detour of heavenly planets, and then in this heavenly planets, everything is going on. Women are doing their business. Everyone's doing their business, and suddenly Bali Maharaj enters there and attacks the city from all sides. And he blows his conch shell, and when he blows his conch shell, all the women of heavenly planets, they have become very, very afraid. And Indra, he comes and sees Bali Maharaj, and he sees that the Bali Maharaj is shining like a sun, thousands of sun. All his soldiers are also like that. And he sees his prowess, and immediately Indra, he goes to his spiritual master Brihaspati, and he asks Brihaspati. Before he asks Brihaspati, he tells that, oh, our enemy Bali Maharaj is back here, and now he seems so powerful that it doesn't seem that anyone can stop him. And he's as if he's licking all the 10 directions. He's become that powerful, and he's drinking up the entire universe. His strength is so powerful. It feels like, just looking at him, looking at his arm, it feels like he's going to consume the whole universe. And so and just by his looks, if he looks somewhere, it feels like there is fire coming out from his eyes, as if this is a fire that happens towards the destruction time, like a samvartaka fire. So he asks Brihaspati, his spiritual master, that what is the cause of strength of Bali Maharaj, such power. So then Brihaspati tells Indra that actually the power that Bali Maharaj has is because of his service to his spiritual master Shukracharya. And in the purport, Prabhupada mentions this Yasya Deve Paradeve Yatha Bhakti Tatha Guru, that anyone who has implicit faith in spiritual master actually can achieve everything, because spiritual master, um, prayer of spiritual master is more powerful than our own efforts. You can do your own effort for many millennia, but a simple small prayer from a spiritual master can empower you even way beyond your understanding and imagination. So it's more important to actually serve the spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master, and follow their instructions, and in this way get their blessings. And in this way you will even become more powerful than if by your own strength, by your own efforts, by your own attempts. This is the essence, and this is what Brihaspati is telling Indra, that you look, he served his spiritual master, full stop. And he's actually gotten blessings from all the brahmanas. So because he's gotten blessings of all the brahmanas and all the spiritual, his spiritual master, his power is actually their power, it's not just his power. So this way Brihaspati is actually also telling Indra that if you also served your spiritual master like this, if you also served the brahmanas like this, you will also become indefeatable. No one can defeat you. So Indra is asking, like, in his mind, should I fight now? Go into the battle and fight. And Brihaspati then says that, look, no one can stand in front of this power. Only Supreme Lord can stand. Like Bali Maharaj at this point in time is like Lord of Death. Anyone who goes in front of him will die. He's like Yamraj. So there is no point going in front of Bali Maharaj, because you don't have that Brahma Tejas. He is having Brahma Tejas, which is Tejas or Tej, or the prowess of all the Brahmanas. So then, um, Brihaspati suggests that you just hide, just go away in wilder and hide till the time, till your time comes. So, Indra is as if asking, when is my time going to come? When is Bali Maharaj going to fall away? And Brihaspati tells in a verse to Indra that actually Bali Maharaj will fall away when he will offend the same spiritual master, because and the brahmanas, because of whom he has become so powerful. So till that time you just go away from this place. And so all the demigods, they are called Kamarupinaha. Rupa means form, Kamarupinaha means form from one's own desire. So demigods can take any form of their own desire. So all the demigods, they took up different forms, invisible forms, which are not even known to the demons. And they spread throughout the universes, including heavenly planets, and no one knew where the demigods were actually. So when Bali Maharaj enters the heavenly planets, it's all empty. And so Bali Maharaj, he conquers the heavenly planets without much fight. And once he is in the heavenly planets, then from the heavenly planets he extends his power through the lower planetary systems, Bhur Bhuvaswaha, Bhu and Bhuar, which means the earthly planetary systems, and then further planetary systems which are in the lower regions. So now he becomes the master of all three planetary systems, Bali Maharaj, and demigods are like roaming. But understand that someone who has, dethroned a king and become a new king, it's not easy for them to stay in the power, because there will always be powers which will try to, which are friends with the old king, and they will try to dethrone the new king. Right? This happens everywhere, right? So Rishi Munis, the Brahmanas who actually made possible all of this victory for Bali Maharaj, they knew this very well. So what they asked Bali Maharaj to do is they asked him to do Ashwamedh Yagya. And how many Ashwamedh Yagya? They asked him to do 100 Ashwamedh Yagya. Because to become Indra, you have to do 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas. So in this case, the Brahmanas get him to do 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas. So, it is known to all the enemies of Bali Maharaj in all planetary systems that look, now the king is Bali Maharaj and he is equally qualified to Indra. He is equally competent to be in Indra, and now he is the Indra. He's dethroned the existing Indra. So after he does this 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas, the Brahmanas become assured that Bali Maharaj is now stable. No one is going to actually challenge his position. And Bali Maharaj also becomes very satisfied and he starts to enjoy his opulences. So this is where this chapter finishes on Bali Maharaj, where Bali Maharaj now in very stable, happy, peaceful situation. And in the next chapter, you will discuss a very important vrata, and I won't discuss much about that vrata, but anyone who doesn't have a child or desires a child can follow this vrata, or in fact, he can do this vrata for any benediction. Because after the demigods are wandering everywhere, then the demigods, the mother of the demigods, Aditi, becomes very distressed. So that portion will be discussed in the next session. So now, hope everyone has heard attentively and no one was sleeping. We already have questions, so yeah, we have good time for questions. So please, Shakti Mataji, go ahead and ask your question.
Hare Krishna, it's me.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class. My question was, I think the underlying motivation and theme in this pastime, you could say that it's about revenge and taking revenge. And so I wanted to try and understand, because this is quite an intricate pastime, and it's in Bhagavatam. When it's motivated by revenge and that's such a central theme, why is something like that in the Bhagavatam? Because spirituality and revenge, they seem like they're opposite natures, opposite kind of bhavs. So I just wanted to understand a bit more in that context.
Yeah, sure. It's a very good question. The nature, the context is not necessarily just of revenge. The context is how the living entities have been created and what natures have they been given. So demons, they are always naturally inclined to harm others. And so when Bali Maharaj being devotee of the Lord, when he was actually killed by Indra, and when he came back to life, Bali Maharaj didn't regret. When someone is very revengeful, as soon as they would have woken up from death, the first thing they would have said, "I'll not leave Indra. I'll kill this Indra. I'll not." He doesn't do that. Bali Maharaj, he is equipoised at this point in time. He understands that he actually lost the battle. He becomes peaceful and he is grateful to his spiritual master for reviving him. So now he starts to build back his power. An underlying theme when he builds back this power is, yes, revenge, but actually the underpinnings of this revenge is the nature that demons have. Demons want to rule the kingdoms, rule the world without God. And so there will naturally be always an enmity between the demons and the demigods. And the reason this pastime is mentioned here in Srimad Bhagavatam is to actually also explain that there is always, in the material world, there is always going to be dualities. You will never have a very happy, peaceful situation in material existence. Swarga Loka is also in the material world, and any planet in the material world will have dualities. Sometimes it's battle, revenge, sometimes it's envy. You will also see in the other planets of Gandharvas, a brother is envious of his another brother. In another planets, you will see sisters are envious of each other. So there are dualities. And Bhagavad is telling you that there will be dualities because you are still in the material world. But Bhagavad is showing you the picture that how in all of these dualities of the material world, which includes all the shades of the revenge, the happiness, the joys, the sorrow, the madness, with all of its shades, Bhagavatam is showing to you that in all of these situations, how to actually transcend this situation and come out of this material realm and go back home, back to Godhead, to spiritual world. So even in this pastime, something amazing happens later on, and this is a pre-context. It's like a prequel to what's going to come up next. And the culmination is in the pastimes of Marutgand, where you will enjoy it even well. That comes really right at the end of the eighth canto, but there are so many things. So really, Bhagavatam can't hide away this material realms. If you want to be happy and peaceful in this material world, then you must read Ramayana. And if you plan to understand this material world, well, Ramayana is fully potent to also give you liberation directly. Ramayana is it's like Srimad Bhagavatam, but it more focuses on how to be happy in this material world. How to have your good behavior. Bhagavatam is telling you how to get out of this material world. So those who want to go to the spiritual world should read Bhagavatam regularly. And those who also want to be happy in this material world should also read Ramayana. Because there is no point being sad in this material world, right? But if you read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and you hear such pastimes regularly, then you will always be aware what is the nature of this material world. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
If not, my apologies.
No, it's really amazing because the depth of this, you and layer and you peel so many things. It's inspiring to see parts of Bali Mahārāj's character, but then I was struggling with it because I was thinking, but he's just going out for revenge. Like, how is that? But so you've explained it really nicely, but I really appreciate that.
Just to also add, there are different pure devotees of the Lord, and in different pure devotees also there is a level of spiritual passion. So Bali Mahārāja is actually one of the pure devotees of the Lord, but he has a tinge of mode of passion.
Yeah.
So because he's a king, right?
Kshatriya,
Kings have to be very passionate. How will you rule the worldly affairs if you're not passionate? So he wants to give charity as if he's the giver, but that is his nature. But he wants to give everything, not want to keep anything with him. So he is Acharya of Atmanivedanam, meaning complete surrender. But the Shiks Goswamis explain, and I heard this from Vrindavan Chandra Maharaj, that having this Atmanivedam is not easily possible in this age. To give everything away. If you have a family, how can you children to feed and everything, bills and everything, how can you give everything to the Lord? So it's not always fully possible, but yet we find in ISKCON we see many devotees, like countless devotees, following this principle. And we are still shocked how they are managing themselves, because they are completely surrendered devotees of the Lord.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If anyone else has any questions, please raise your hand. If I'll quickly ask you a couple of questions, Prabhu, while I wait. Okay, so Devi Mataji, would you like to ask your question, please? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for tonight. I think I have misunderstood, so please help me to understand it. I thought the demon represent our false ego, our illusion. It's created from the ego, from the illusion, and so on and so on. And it's kind of to teach us something, or to understand something, represent something. But the real it's not any bad in that how to say, like we say we say Kali. Kali is the bad demon. Kali, as if now Kali, we are in Kali Yuga, and it means the really bad demons yoga we are in now. But the demon which, like Prahlad Maharaj, like Bali Maharaj, these were not how to say, not bad demon. They were good demon, and even they got, for instance, Bali Mahārāja is one of the 11 Mahājana, and Bali Mahārāja and Prahlād Mahārāja got very, very, very exalted position. So please help me to understand. Do I have understand it right or wrong, or what is it? Thank you.
No, thank you. It's a very deep and a beautiful question. And actually, to understand this question, you have an understanding of demon, but you have mixed many perspectives and many levels into one existence of demon, because oftentimes it's very easy for people to understand one thing, right? And when you just get one thing right, and then you say that, okay, this is the concept and this is how it's going to be. But actually, in the Vedic system, you have to unpeel the layers and you have to go to the next level, and understand the gradients between the lowest level and the topmost level. So in the topmost understanding, you are right, demon is actually every creature, every soul which comes into the material realms is first hit by Mahat Tattva, is given a false ego, and under the false ego it wants to enjoy, basically. Now, the way it wants to enjoy makes a differentiation between the demigod or a demon. If it wants to enjoy at all costs, beg, borrow, steal, enjoy at all costs, this is demoniac mentality. This is a demoniac evolution of the false ego. And therefore, what will happen is that such a person will start developing certain nature. Okay, so certainly the mind and intelligence will be tinged with all these kind of demoniac qualities. And when you have these demoniac qualities, what happens is your gross, meaning your body, also starts to become like what the subtle is. So if the subtle wants to enjoy like this, like that, and you have enough pious credits through your actions, then you get a body like that. And so you start to enjoy in a body like that. And in that body, because you're demoniac, you continue to do sinful activities. You continue to do activities which is not conducive to going upwards. It's conducive to going downwards to the lower planetary systems. And in the lower planetary systems, the size of the body reduces, the height of the body reduces, the light is not seen, the dark days are there. So this whole description is from the perspective of evolution of a soul entering into the material world through Mahatattva, being given a false ego, and then having actually its own desires. And depending on what desires it cultivates, it gets a stronger subtle mind. Based on the stronger subtle mind, gets a gross body. And this is how they become a demon in the gross body and keeps going down. They may be at earthly planetary system. They may be, even in upper planetary systems. But because they have demoniac mentality, they keep going downwards. So this is a classic. So if someone who is a human, can they be demoniac? Yes, they can be demoniac if they have a demoniac mentality, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and they're doing all of these things all the time in their life, finding no time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or even attend Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is, or not do any spiritual activity or not do any good activity for any other human being, or just be super selfish, self-centered on oneself. So these are all the categories which will lead one to the lower quality of existence. So this is the demon. Now, when we speak of Prahlād Mahārāja and we speak of Bali Mahārāja, these were people who also wanted to enjoy. And specifically, if you speak about Prahlād Mahārāja and Bali Mahārāja, these were born in demoniac families. They were not demons per se from their subtle mind, from their Prahlād Mahārāja says in one of the verses in 8th Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that I am born in demoniac family. So my tendencies are already demoniac. And he says that demoniac tendencies mean that we want to acquire material wealth. We want to acquire something for the body, for the enjoyment of the body. So he says, don't give me anything material. Immediately he says, don't give me, because he was given a service to be born in a demoniac family. And in some pastimes, you'll also hear of Prahlād Mahārāja. He brings liquor for the demons, for the lower planetary systems. That doesn't mean that he is impacted by liquor or he is consuming the liquor or he is, but he's been put in this situation where, he is a pure devotee of the Lord, but he's born in a demoniac family. Very same to Bali Mahārāja. He's born in a demoniac family. So if someone's born in a demoniac family, they may have demoniac tendencies. You know, demoniac tendencies can be seen. If you see a person, you will see their tendencies, you know, eating too much, or, you know, attracted to skin so much and this and that. But are they able to give up those demoniac tendencies for the Lord or not? This defines whether they are in grip of demoniac nature or they are in grip of Supreme Lord's nature. So every human being also comes under this nature: Deva, Manushya, and Rakshas. Rakshas meaning demon. So even like I am born in a my Gana is Rakshas, meaning I am demoniac by my general tendencies. And essentially, if I continue to do that, then essentially my position is going down. But by mercy of Gurudev, by mercy of Prabhupada, if I continue to be in association of devotees, then hopefully, in spite of being born as a Rakshas Gana, my destination is not going to be of that of demoniac people, essentially. So, you know, people also classify materialists as demons. Prabhupada interchangeably uses the words demons for materialists. But actually, what Prabhupada means is people who have no time for God and no time for people, human beings, no time for themselves. They just completely have time for only for their senses. That is the definition of demon. And in another place in Bhagavatam, demon has got a very simple definition. Anyone who is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu is a demon. That is another definition of a demon. So really, you know, you have to see Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, they were born in demoniac families. They say that they have demoniac tendencies. In reality, they were always the devotees of the Lord.
I in my understanding, Lord Krishna says that he is Prahlad also. And in another place, he is Indra also. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, he says, he names wherever he is and so on. So for me, when I read this, for me, it's very confusing because it's like, let's say we have the mother that got 9 children in the stomach, and it was portable. Yes. So it's almost like they are exactly the same, but still not the same exactly. And they fight each other, or they want to take power of it. You know what I mean? It's very confusing.
Yes, that's because it's not complicated. You have to just learn in association of people who read it properly and who actually understood it in the line of disciplic succession. That's the secret, because it's so exciting and it's so nice and so enchanting that you can meditate on this for months and years and it will never go away from your mind, because the knowledge is so joy giving to the heart if you understand it properly. But that's the secret. You have to understand it in the line of disciplic succession, and you have to come in association of devotees and ask such nice questions. Because when you ask questions, only then you will be able to actually understand how 7 fetus becomes 49. And so what happens? The 749 souls enter into the fetus immediately. You know how a fetus gets split. So
what I can say, at least for myself, because I try really very hard to, when I read, I meditate, I wait. And one thing is every time I ended up to think, this is a pastime, this is a play, this is Krishna's play, this is pastime for Krishna. You know
this
what
is
I mean?
real too. It is real too. It's not just
yes,
a play.
Real for me, yes. But for him, it's a pastime.
Yes, pastime doesn't mean something which is blah, something which is not important, something
No, I don't mean that. I just mean that to understand it better, I end up to think, aha, okay, this is a pastime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you understand better when I'm thinking that, aha, This is a pastime. For
Yes, yeah, but as you progress, then you will slowly, this mind of yours which says, oh, this is just a pastime, will actually start getting replaced with actual emotion of the pastime. Meaning you will be in the pastime and you will feel the pastime and you will say, oh, this is not the pastime, this is my existence. Why did Krishna steal the butter? Why did Krishna steal the clothes of the gopis? He shouldn't. Why? So this becomes your existence. This becomes your. In fact, when Bhishma Dev is passing away from this material world, his meditation is on the form of Krishna, where his face is full of dust, and his hair is scattered, and his body is beautifully decorated with dust, and is some blood is oozing out because Bhishma Dev has shot some arrow on Krishna, and Krishna is looking stunningly beautiful. This is the meditation of Bhishma Dev. So if this was just a pastime, for a pastime you'll say, oh, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, how can he bleed, or what is his blood like? You will start to analyze it like that. But so that is, then you step back and then you say, oh, this is a pastime, these things can happen, these things happen, it was just a pastime, Krishna never dies, Krishna never bleeds, or Krishna never, like that. But actually, for a devotee who is in love with God, slowly when they continue to read Bhagavatam, from 7th canto on, from 6th canto onwards, this love of God is given to you slowly as you progress into 7th and 8th cantos. Only if you have read them properly, only if you have enjoyed Bhagavatam, only if you have meditated on them day after day. So from 6th canto onwards, this portion or this nourishment of connection, love, and attachment to the Lord starts. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu, if I can ask a couple of questions, actually, if that's okay.
Yes.
First of all, the question is to do with Bali Mahārāja. Because he's a fully renunciate, why didn't he end up going to Godhead? And the second part of that question is, why is he going to become Indra, which means that he's going to be against his kingsman? And so that's like a little bit of a contradiction there. So,
he is, let me say the second part, he is also going to become Indra because he already has Sutala right now, and Sutala is even more opulent than heavenly planets.
Right.
So why would you give away your gold and get silver? You won't, right? You will keep the gold and you'll say, okay, I'll take the silver. That's what happens with him. He has his Sutala and he also takes over Indra's planet in the next Manvantar, in the 8th Manvantar, because it's along, because we only always think in terms of enjoyment of that Indra undergoes, but actually Indra also has great responsibilities. Like, it's a universal responsibility. Anything disturbance, Indra is supposed to reach there, solve out the disturbance. And so Bali Maharaj is given that responsibility in the next Manvantar. And why did Bali Maharaj did not go back home, back to Godhead? He is with Godhead, because in the Sutala planet, the Lord is standing as his doorkeeper. The Lord said, I will give you my personal deity through which you will always be with me in your palace. And Bali Maharaj is constantly worshipping that deity there. This is all mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna said that in your planet, in Sutala planet, there is no one who can challenge your position. You will not be in any kind of anxiety because whenever you are a king, you are always in anxiety. Your ministers might be plotting against you. Some other warriors might be trying to take you over. So Krishna takes away all the anxiety from Bali Maharaj. So if you see the kind of benedictions when Krishna starts to give, Krishna says you can't hold it when he starts to give. That's what happens with Bali Maharaj. When Krishna took, he only arrested Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj got arrested. But then if you start reading the pastime, which you will read shortly, and if someone who will explain to you very nicely, they will show you what all things Bali Maharaj is constantly giving to, Vaman Dev is constantly giving to Bali Maharaj. He gave everything to Bali Maharaj. Like Vaman Dev gave everything to Bali Maharaj. Literally, he's so many benedictions, protection from all sides. So where is he not with Godhead?
Okay.
He's already with Godhead. Along. It's a very amazing combination of spiritual world plus material enjoyment. But this material enjoyment is because nature of Bali Maharaj is he wants to give to Brahmanas. So in this Sutala planet, he's constantly, doing charity, giving things.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. And the second question is that right at the outset, you said about Mother Lakshmi not glancing on the demons. So my first part of that question is why was that? Because that's like it being impartial to an extent. And the second part is that you were talking about her glance made Indra peaceful, but yet he continued to kill the demons. So that's a little bit of a contradiction, which I just needed clarification on.
Okay. So Mother Lakshmi, if you notice Mother Lakshmi, she, as soon as she came out, she was looking for the husband, and she rejected everyone. Every single person she saw, she rejected till the time she actually met the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. And he was the only perfect person for Mother Lakshmi. So anyone who has Lord Vishnu in their hearts, they will get glance of Mother Lakshmi. Demons, they don't like the Supreme Lord. They don't want to keep Lord in their heart. Demigods, they want to enjoy, but they want to enjoy by keeping the Supreme Lord with them. And humans, they generally want to go to heavenly planets. So the humans follow the demigods, generally. But if the humans directly follow, or they also follow directly the Supreme Lord. So in both the categories, Mother Lakshmi is okay with them. But demons, they don't want to do anything with the Lord. So she didn't glance on the demons. And sorry, I forgot your second question, which was why did Indra, after, in spite of getting glance from Mother Lakshmi, why did he went on a rampage of killing everyone? Yeah, because if you see and this is just from my tiny understanding, and I could be wrong, but if you see, Indra was constantly in a battle with the demons. Even before this, there was a fight with the demons. Now he was in a premier position, prime opportunity he had gotten, saying that okay, now he's got everything, and he's got nectar. When you also get like supreme nectar, all of these were material positions. Nectar, glances of Mother Lakshmi, making their heart peaceful. So you feel supremely powerful after taking nectar. So, I think it must be his intention to actually wipe out all his opposition so that he doesn't have to get into the same problem of fighting over and over again. But, he was glanced by Mother Lakshmi. He was also, even the Supreme Lord took incarnation to protect him in the fight with Namuchi and others. Eventually, the Supreme Lord had to come and dispel the illusions and everything. So Indra had seen the Supreme Lord many times, but he has this desire in his heart to enjoy. Along with Supreme Lord, he wants to enjoy. This is the most important stumbling block. And therefore, every time someone goes back home, back to Godhead, all the residents of heavenly planets, they are very dejected and they're very happy. They're very dejected because they still can't give up this desire to enjoy matter. And they're very happy thinking that at least one soul has gone back and they're not coming to the heavenly planet. So Indra, supremely blessed, seeing the Lord again and again. He's prayed many times to the Lord and he's heard the voice of the Lord in many pastimes. In one pastime, he's already seen the Lord. And Lord is telling him that if I give you your benediction, then I will be called fool. Because, a mother who gives chocolate to the child and the teeth of the child goes bad, then people don't call names on the child. They also say, oh, what family the child is coming from. The parents are careless. So in one pastime, Lord Narayan directly tells Narad Muni, you are asking me a weapon to kill Vritrasur? This is crazy. If I, for all, and Vritrasur is my devotee. So Lord is telling him that if I give you your benediction, I will be called greater fool. Nonetheless, out of compassion, he tells him to go to Dadichi Muni to get his bones. So Indra is, we are not supposed to blaspheme Indra. We are supposed to also respect him. But at the same time, we are supposed to, pray to gurus, pray to Prabhupada that whatever desire for material enjoyment we have, please take it away. because otherwise we'll end up in this Indra situation where we want Lord, but we are not giving up this material. It's a honey trapped outside the bottle of jar of honey. Honeybee outside the jar of honey. So that we don't want to be in that. We want to be in the honey completely.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu. If we can all kindly unmute and say our three Haribols. Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
Thank you
Thank you very much,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If I
Thank
can,
you
sorry,
so much.
if I can
Thank you
ask,
so much.
yeah, Prabhuji, if I can ask you to say the final prayers, and if everyone can stay on mute, please. Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you everyone.